Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Welcome back to another week of racing, race fans, and welcome to a very dirty circuit where the stiff suspension is not gonna be wanting a ride tonight. It's the Wild West Motorsport Park. Very suitable name. I'm Alex Marshall, joined by Tristan Herbst, our producer in the background, who will bringing you all the camera shots this evening. As you see, Formula V's jumping is Jim Cunningham, and of course, Tristan. We've already seen these cars jumping all over the place. You can only imagine what it's going to be like tonight as we head towards the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we were speaking about some of the previous dirt tracks. It's a massive, unfortunate one for our pit crew here today because they're going to have to clean out some very dirty Formula Vs after today's run of events. Because as you can see here today, we've got a full dirt circuit. If you are familiar with the Wild West Motorsports Park, you'll know that it's not your traditional dirt circuit where, you know, things are nice and flat, you know, like we've seen in the past with a couple of the ovals. No, we're chucking the Formula Vs into a challenge that I don't think they've experienced yet in Season 3. You've seen it in the background in a couple of the camera shots, but some of these cars have been struggling to keep their grips. You can see two going tandem around that left-hand bend, but it is going to be quite an action-packed event yet tonight. Loads and loads of gradient at this track. We can see lots and lots of jumps. It's as if we're at a Supercross event. Oh, there we've got quite a bit of a collision between our Formula Vs, but with this camera angle, might be one of our most popular ones here tonight, as we can see our Formula Vs absolutely sending it over the creases. And I can't lie to you, Alexa, I'm quite excited. I think this might be one of my favorite rounds of the season.
Well, full of drifts and jumps. I think that's going to be the story of tonight. We saw a few cars doing barrel rolls there. Like, we've already mentioned it, though, but this is the thing. The suspension on these cars are very stiff. So, like, you're going to have to keep it straight, because one mistake, you are going over. We're in free practice at the current moment, with just under 3 minutes remaining on the clock. And right now, it is Alexander Borgström who is currently sat top with a 56-minute lap time. Well, 56-second lap time. Sorry, I got a bit too used to endurance racing in the past few weeks, as they are now making their way round. This is definitely going to be an interesting one, Tristan, as we are getting closer and closer to that time where qualifying is going to be underway. And of course, you don't get too many chances in qualifying. You've only got 3 runs. I believe that Formula V can fly.
Yeah, that Formula V can definitely fly. But a key aspect that was mentioned by Alexa earlier is that these are not cars made for jumps. I mean, that's pretty obvious because these are Formula Vs. They do have relatively stiff suspension. They are made for maximum downforce, and then they get chucked into an environment where they have to get over a couple of jumps and try and land it without losing the car. And as you can see, it's proving quite difficult for most of our drivers. And from our main driver currently, you can see Borgersrud in P1 with a 56.9. That is actually the style that you need to take when driving at the Wild West Motorsports Park. It's not trying to keep the car straight like you would on asphalt. Remember, there's no grip here. It's actually to chuck the car into the corner, send it into a sideways drift, and trying to hold it with the maximum amount of speed that you possibly can. And well, that's absolutely earned Borgersrud the top spot for tonight in terms of practice. Remember, we haven't started our qualifying just as of yet. But in terms of jumps, one thing we're going to have to watch out for, because like we mentioned, this is really stiff suspension, is that landing. Like Alexa mentioned, if you come down from any of those jumps, even if it's remotely sideways, you're going to have quite a tough time keeping that car pointing the correct direction. And we've seen that a couple of times already here tonight where drivers jump, they try and keep the car going. And as you can see, for an example with Borowski, the car fades left and just not enough to keep the car going straight. And roundabout he goes up onto the front side of the car, and the helmet gets a little bit of grease on the top of it. So we're going to be seeing that quite a bit yet tonight. The question is, who can keep it as consistent as possible?
Well, not Thomas Lord Flemington, as chat is asking where he is. He is not in the server at the moment. Everybody in the server has set a lap time. So, no Mr. Flemingtons tonight, unfortunately. So, but there is Foster, James L. Foster, who is P number 1 at the current moment. Take that away from Alexander Borgersrud as Checkered does fall here. So, you may not get your WEC drivers, but you do get your Indy drivers. So there is the Wild West Motorsport Park in all its glory, in all its coloured and in all its textured glory. As you very much jump going onto that main straight, you could just from here you could see the elevation changes. So it's really an interesting one. I can only imagine what lap 1 is going to be like. But of course, you've got your qualifying session to come your way, which will start very, very shortly. In fact, it already has started. So you will have a few drivers out there on their Joker laps eventually. So now here's the thing. Who are you going to be putting, if you're a betting man, Mr. Tristan Herbst, who are you going to be putting your bets on?
Well, I mean, practice has given quite a good amount of insight here in terms of who's going to be on top. Unfortunately, the two people on top are two drivers that haven't been here for all the rounds previously, Mr. Alexander Borgersrud as well as James L. Foster. They aren't here as frequently as we would have hoped to see them. So my bet, though, is still definitely on one of the two. We did see them with quite a bit of a distance compared to third position. They were around about the 56.6 to 56.9 seconds per lap, and then third was all the way down at a 58-second lap. So it's quite a big margin between these drivers. So I'm going to place my money on those two. But something to consider here as well is if you look at Wild West Motorsport Park, if you've ever played the iRacing simulator before, you'll know that this track is frequently taken with cars that are highly modified and highly suited for a track like this. For example, you know, somewhere between an 800 kilogram to a 1-ton weight truck with super soft suspension, whereas today we're out here in the 296 kilogram super stiff suspension Formula Vs. And that's exactly why myself and Alexa, and I'm assuming our producer in the background, Jim, is also incredibly excited about what we're going to be seeing here today, because it's completely out of the ordinary. If you watch frequent motorsports on the TV, you know, it kind of gets a bit repetitive. Things are relatively the same. But whereas TGR Nation, we're throwing a couple of curveballs in here for season number 3 with these very odd style tracks. And I mean, you can see it here on board with Adrian Borowski, how you have to take the car around this track over the bumps, trying to keep the car settled. And as soon as it comes into a corner, you'll watch how he tries to throw the car in, keep all that speed. I mean, look at that. That's a completely sideways Formula V. I didn't think I'd see that trying to get an actual lap time. You know, usually you'd see it if a car's made a bit of a mistake, but there's absolutely no mistakes here. This is the driving style on a completely dirt style track. And I cannot wait to see what qualifying is going to give us, because that starting grid is going to be chaotic.
Indeed it is. Currently, Jonah Lutsu currently sits top with a 1 minute point 9, but that's quickly dethroned by the Brit of Sully Khan. P number 1 for them, 58 second point 866. And Jonah Lutsu and Martin Visser. You got Rob Wright there as well, but Adrian Borowski, 1, 2, 4, goes to the top, 57.013. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. So, he's currently set up top, and from what we saw, I wouldn't be surprised if he might keep that. But there is the man that myself and Adam earlier this season took what totally didn't make some remarks, and he is currently not on the board at the moment. Let's see what he can do. I know that Adam's watching, that's why I brought it up. Hi Adam, welcome in. As we continue going around here, welcome in race fans, as well as you got Alexander Borgstrud, P number 2. You got Neil Hanley, P number 5. James L. Foster, he's going to come to the line, and he's going to go 57.012. However, that was invalidated, so not what he would have hoped for.
Definitely not. And I mean, with only 3 laps to do in terms of actual qualifying laps, remember there is a 10-minute stint time that you've got to get those laps in, but a maximum of 3 laps is allowed per driver. So messing up a lap like that is quite crucial in terms of trying to get that qualifying position down. But with about 6 minutes left to go, most of our drivers here will still have a little bit of budget left in to get a couple more laps in. And so we'll be watching to see what the drivers can do. Zenkar comes over that checkered flag, almost loses it on that first little bump over the checkered line. 8th place is not going to be the best position he might have been hoping for, but let's see what he can do. Lutsu obviously sitting in 4th. Marin gets himself up into 5th. Schweening gets himself just behind in 6th position. And here comes James L. Foster with 2 purple sectors so far, and coming across the checkered flag of 56.841. So a good, I'd say, 1.7 tenths away from Borowski, and he's definitely created a bit of a lead for himself. Back to the pit lane he goes. Not too sure if he's got another one ready for him to go, but for the time being, we've got a lot of other drivers trying to get themselves out there. Taylor gets himself with the 103.9. Schweening, like we were speaking about, did manage to get himself up there into 6th. He has been pushed down to 7th after that lap from Foster, but still a great position so far for Schweening. And in terms of chaos, if you can stay consistent and avoid chaos when that starting procedure begins, then you potentially have a chance to finish and grab some good points here today, because things are going to get, unfortunately, quite chaotic. If you're thinking of the amount of car control you've got on a dirt circuit, try car control. There we see, unfortunately, Borgstrud losing the car into the right-hand side, and exactly like you mentioned, wall riding it a bit. So now imagine that with another car next to you, competing for position. Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, Alexa.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing with these cars as well. I know Jim's gonna be in my ear when I say this, and I know he's not gonna stop about it. So hi Jim, and a big congratulations to being our producer in the background. Absolutely amazing camera shots. It's like going over sausage curbs when you're going around this circuit. So instead of it being like one corner where you want to avoid touching the sausage, it's every single lap. You're going over so many, and maybe that will help you out. But I will also say this. Mr. Louis Foster, IndyCar NXT driver, good old champion. I didn't know he was also a rally car driver, because he is doing real good tonight.
Yeah, definitely so. He's showing some underground skills here. So great stuff for him to keep himself nicely up into P1. But we're seeing quite a lot of grey names on the leaderboard, which represents that they've got no more laps left to do. We've kind of got Rick English and Mark Schweening as the last 2 drivers who have got maybe one more lap left in it for the next 2 or so minutes. But we'll see what these drivers can do. Rick English is on a personal best lap. Coming over that final bump, can he keep it nice and consistent? And over the checkered line he will go. Is it an improvement for Mr. English? Indeed it is. A great jump up to 6th position. He will go. What can Schweening do, though? Not too sure if Schweening is still currently out on a lap. Indeed, he is not. And so I believe that might be it in terms of our qualifying for this event. English, I think, still has 1 lap left to go. Can he improve yet again? He's managed to hit a green first sector, a little bit wide there, going into that right-hander and almost kicking up dirt. I was going to say that as if there's not dirt everywhere, but thankfully manages to keep it on the racing line. It's actually a double green for both the first couple of sectors, but now can he keep it going over this huge hill he's got in front? And it's actually a purple there through that next section. Can he keep it going though? Throws the car in right, he loses the car and unfortunately into the Lucas Oil sign. And that's how quickly your qualifying lap can be ruined.
Yeah, it is like chat is saying, you can't be touching the sausages, SMH. You can't be touching them, and you can't be going round. So who knows at the end of the day, as it is 18-degree ambient temperature. Apparently the dirt is 17 degrees. I don't think that's going to be... I don't think that's going to change much, considering that the engineers are still going to have a bad time trying to get the dirt off the suspension at the end of this one, going into next week's round. I feel so sorry for the pit crews after this one, but it is Louis Foster who sits up top with a 56.841 out the Indy into the V, and then also Rally, followed by Aidan Murawski in P number 2 with a 57.013, then it's 57.3 for Alexander Borgström. Said Sully Khan, John Lutzu, Rick English, Matthias Marin, Neil Hanley, Sean Gopinski, Mark Schweening, Scott Brooks, Daniel Taylor, Martin Visser, Zenkar, Rob Wright, Rich Matthews, Brandon Nagelvort, and Ken Poulin, who has actually joined and is now out there on the circuit.
I was wondering why our qualifying session wasn't proceeding forwards, and that's what Ken's doing. He's showing the fans a little bit of a cartwheel action there and showing that his Formula V is built for strength around Wild West Motorsport Park. But was wondering why our qualifying session wasn't proceeding, and it's because we've got one more driver who's coming to try their luck, trying to get a bit of a replay here of what happened. It looks like we were just a bit too late to see what happened in that cartwheel action, but we might be able to get it for you. He is, I believe, going to try and get one more lap out, and oh, okay, that's quite an unfortunate cartwheel, just clipping, exiting the pit row, and unfortunately completely losing the car. And let's hope we don't see that in the actual race. That would be quite terrible. But with about 10 seconds left of qualifying, he's unfortunately going to run out of time here. Will he do it again? I hope he doesn't smack the pit wall with about 5 seconds left. But that is it. I mean, Alexa did give you a bit of a rundown of the qualifying leaderboard. You'll probably get a bit of a view of it once again. But, I mean, man, I cannot wait to go racing here. This is going to be quite crazy going into that first corner.
Flip it, bop it, twist it, send it. That's going to be the story of tonight, because you are going to be all over the place. Apparently our producer doesn't get the reference, but let's go. Well, when I say we, I'm going to say this man. Tristan, you know what we're doing. Here, your official classification.
Yeah, so Alexa gave you a good rundown, but let's get the officials out there. James L. Foster will take P1 with Adrian Borowski in second. Alexander Borgersrud will take third. Sully Khan, fourth position. Johnny Lutsu, one of the championship contenders, up in fifth position. Rick English will take sixth. Matthias Marin sits seventh position with Neil Hanley in eighth. Sean Gopinski will take ninth with Mark Schweening in 10th position. With Scott Brooks just behind 11th, Daniel Taylor will take 12th. Martin Visser in 13th, Zen Carr down in 14th position. Rob Wright in 15th with Brandon Nagelwood in 16th position. Ken Poulin in 17th, and Rich Matthews looks like we had another join at the last moment of qualifying there. So 18 total Formula Vs. That's 9 rows about to cause chaos. You can see it ranging. I mean, some of the drivers are starting on the top, some of the drivers are starting on the bottom. I feel bad for those starting on the uphill. That clutch is going to burn a little bit, but we'll have to watch and see, because the gantry lights are getting ready to go. The engines are starting to puff out as the drivers engage that clutch. It's lights out and away we go. And somebody's held their steering wheel far left. That's Rob Wright, unfortunately. No traction on the dirt. Everybody trying to manage that first little hump. And you can see, trying to take it a bit slow, not to cause chaos here at the first corner. And into tandem drifting they go. We've got to start giving them points over here for how clean they can keep the tandem drifting. Great little action there from Sullivan Khan as he manages to push himself up all the way. Fighting now with James Foster. Borgersrud in third position. Loads and loads of action. We've got a black flag from Rob Wright after that action. And oh, there's contact through the right-hander. So much going on as everybody trying to keep everything consistent. Johnny Lutsu one position up as well, trying to chase down now on the top 3. But my goodness, Alexa, exactly what I predicted. Well, look, I mean, just look at the live timings board. There is so much position change already.
Bro, Oh, Bro took my green as there's there's Louis Foster making their way around. Brooks also getting past Borgersrud. So many changes. Brandon Nagelvoort got an absolutely amazing start. Sully Card, big catch there. Exiting, black flag for right there. We also had Kapinski go back to the pits. Matthews did not start this race. So it was 18. We've gone down to 17 now. Meatball there for Gianna Lutsu, who is actually, that's Taylor who's going to get the overtake there. Or is it? No, yes, it is Taylor. Taylor got the move done on Lutsu. Meatball for Marin. So many meatball flags out there tonight. So many meatballs. As up round goes Nagelvoort. Oh no, I think that was Schweening actually. Somebody went round. And there is your pit lane. This is the thing. You can't exactly drive into the pit lane because it's at the top of the hill. You've actually got to just return to the pits.
Yeah, that's actually quite unfortunate. I wonder if you get a bit of a timeout for that because technically you can't drive in. I'm hoping that they don't get a tow penalty in terms of additional time on the pit lane. Let's hope for that because I have a feeling every single Formula V is going to sustain some form of damage here tonight. I have a feeling everybody's going to have the orange meatball as they all try and keep their jumps nice and consistent. And I mean, this practically is the World Jump Championship between all of our Formula Vs. It all just matters about how consistently they can land it. So James Foster completely loses it, though. What happened? That looks like he just decided to not turn. I'm not too sure if we can get a replay. James Foster just didn't turn into that left-hander. Sully Khan up into first position. Alexa, could this finally be redemption for the yellow and blue Formula V?
He's gone. He went deep. This is Louis Foster, what we saw. I think this was a lockup because I swear I saw smoke and it just digs into the dirt over the first jump, or maybe it's a loss. Yep, no, he got it nice and clean, turns into the left-hander, and he just slides off. So there was no smoke, but I do think that was a lockup. But obviously, because we're on dirt and not asphalt, you don't actually see the lockup happen. And apparently, the safety car here is a truck. Apparently that's a thing. I'm not surprised considering it's dirt. Here is Gianna Lutsu. We're watching a replay of him at the moment. 4 positions down since his race start. Actually, quite a few down. Louis Foster down 12. Rob Wright down 2. And this is Gianna Lutsu all over the bumps and just going to have a tap on the rear end, it seems. No idea what's happening here, but he is going to be riding pretty smoothly, unless it's through this corner. There we go. Goes wide there, and he gets overtaken. So that happened. There's so many jumps as Martin Visser is going to get past Mark Schweening. Is it retribution day for Sully Khan was asked. Maybe. He's P number 2 at the moment. Is going to be Rich English. Going to be going back to the pits. Brendan Nagelvoort still out there on the circuit. 2 positions up since the race start, but they are lapped. Adrian Barowski 1 position up since his race start as Foster is out of the pit lane. Martin Visser going to get past Mark Schweening further back as well. It's a 8-second, well, basically 8-second lead up top, as then it is going to be just under a second between Sully Khan and Alexander Borgstrud. Fastest lap was the previous between Adrian Barowski, as Alexander Borgstrud and Sully Khan are going to be fighting side by side. Also going to have Mark Schweening here, Martin Visser and Gianna Lutsu as well, battling a little bit further up in front. Down the inside goes Martin Visser with a lovely overtake right there. So many jumps, so many turns. Twist it, bop it, tap it, send it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit surprised that Jim didn't get that reference. That's a classic toy that you could play with your friends at school. And I mean, it's a great reference for what we're seeing here because at this point, the drivers get 4 options for what happens over a bump. Either you stay straight. The second option is you completely lose the car. The third option is you hit into somebody else. And the fourth final option is you return to pit lane due to sufficient damage. So,
oh my God!
I mean, everybody following the same line. They're just being pulled into the left-hand side of the wall. Yeah, we got to start playing a little bit of a meme board here every single time we see something. Daniel Taylor, neat little amount of drifting on the inside line, trying to keep up with James L. Foster, who, unfortunately, a massive amount of positions down. 12 positions after that binning into the wall. And like we mentioned, it's not really a lockup at a circuit, I guess. I think we can rather call it a bit of a dig-in, is that your tires completely just dig into the dirt, and you genuinely have no steering control whatsoever, and that's exactly what happened to James L. Foster down in 13th position. But Adrian Borowski currently with the 6-second lead. It was 8 seconds about a lap or 2 ago, but Borgersrud is slowly starting to catch up to him. And unfortunately, Sully Khan, I think I mentioned redemption there a little bit too early. He is starting to fall off from that top pack. Currently about 3.7 seconds. Daniel Taylor gets a meatball flag. Not too sure what happened there. and it looks like it's been taken away. Not too sure if that's just a bit of a netcode issue, but Salih Khan, over the bumps he goes. Can he manage it for the next 23 or so minutes? It's still going to be quite a rough ride out there for him, but for our lead, for our owner of the league, apologies, I could not find the word there, Salih Khan and Matthias Marin, we've seen Salih Khan struggle through a couple of the previous rounds. He's got such good pace, but the consistency just not able to find him. Can he find it on a circuit where you have the least amount of consistency? Only time is going to tell. Scott Brooks 7 positions up as well, and Gianni Lutsu returns back to his starting position of 5th. Great recovery climb. Zen Carr up 8 positions just behind Gianni Lutsu. So a couple of drivers slowly starting to find their niche now and find that place where they need to keep the car positioned, but it's still going to be quite a rough ride. Oh, and as I mentioned him, Lutsu, into the wall he goes and climbing up on the suspension of his Formula Vs.
You are on a roll tonight with your curses, Tristan. My God, that's 3 drivers you've cursed so far. As up all over the curbs, and Gianni Lutsu. Okay, good catch. That was a good catch by Gianni Lutsu, actually, as there was another car in the barrier there. Foster is going to be out of the circuit now, as Borowski is going to be on pit exit, going over the crest at the highest point. Now you continue down the back of the circuit. It'll get a little bit more airtime is Louis Foster, as they go and drift their way round. And they're having a fun little time. There's Salih Khan. Whee! Don't know about we... Hold on. I'm trying to think... trying to think of a reference here. Jim's cracking. I've just got Jim in my ear going, wee! I know I do it, but it still cracks me up. As there is Adrian Borowski, who is making their way through the circuit. What plane would a Formula V be?
What plane would a Formula V be? I mean, I'd assume some form of old gen plane. Yeah, maybe a Cessna or like a Piper Cup or something that doesn't have too many of the advanced features, you know? What are you wanting to refer the Formula V as Alexa?
I was trying to, every single time it was going to go airborne, I was going to make a joke of, oh, I didn't know we had such and such plane in iRacing.
Yeah, I mean, they could be played off as a Cessna or a Piper Cup, something with a slightly simpler design, like a beginner's plane. I mean, that's kind of what a Formula V is. It's a bit of an introductory to the Formula class, so that would make perfect sense. But for the time being, Salman Khan has moved back up into second. What has happened to Borowski? 40 seconds behind Salman Khan. I mean, this grid is absolutely distanced with each other, but there is still a lot of racing technically going on, as everybody is still quite close within each other. We'll get your track map up for you shortly, just to have a look at where everybody is currently out on track. I mean, you can see it. We've got loads and loads of action. Unfortunately, no one really contesting too much for actual positioning. There goes Matthias Marin getting a position on Nagelbert. So at least there is a little bit of action there as he moves up into 9th. But Borowski, 41 seconds behind Salman Khan. I mean, that's almost an entire lap here at Wild West Motorsport Park. And unfortunately, he's going to have to do quite a lot here to recover. And with only about 19 minutes or so left of this race. No, it's not 19 minutes or so. It's it's 21 minutes or so left of racing here. It's still a lot of time to play with if we're looking at about 57 to 58 second lap times. I mean, a couple of others doing about 1 minute 3, 1 minute 4s. As James L. Foster goes wide again, just not able to get that car rotated in the dirt and really starting to struggle here. Unfortunately, the real life driving experience is not playing well into this very randomly styled event setup with a Formula V on dirt track. And you can see some of the drivers who are here for more of a fun time and not too much practice being put in are actually having quite a blast here, as the lead has actually changed up or about to change up. Salman Khan 1.6 seconds behind Borgersrud. After he made a couple of mistakes, he almost loses it again up in front. Has he lost it? No, it looks like he's managed to keep it. But Salman Khan is slowly starting to catch up. He's getting a slightly more consistent jumps compared to Borgersrud. And can he hold it though? Oh, that's Foster again, upside down, same corner. And Foster just not having the luck here today. Completely down on this race.
Yeah, well, Chat's decided the verdict. They are paper planes. So Chat's decided the verdict for us. Thank you very much, Chat. Thank you very much, TGR Nation fans. as Alexander Borgström making their way through. Sully Khan also there now within a second. They were 1.8 at the start of the lap. Now they're getting closer again as we go to a replay here. This is a watching on board on top of his helmet for Louis Foster. Goes here and very, very close. And oh, hello. And here comes the wall. Boosh. Bosh. Round it goes. And apparently we saw underneath the map. I didn't know we could. I did not know that there was a glitch in the matrix.
Well, I mean, this could technically be an excavation site. You know, you just got to dig a little bit. So that's a way, I guess, to get underneath the track. It looks like Louis Foster's managed to find a way to begin digging down, and it seems to be a loophole on that first corner barrier, as he's unfortunately met it 3 times yet today. Borgus Rudd hits the barrier, and as he returns straight back to the pit lane, and Salman Khan now in the lead with 40 seconds lead of this race. I mean, man, I'm not going to say anything again, Alexa, because the last time I did, he completely lost out, but it's looking good if he can keep it nice and clean. Taylor in 5th position has moved up towards that top 5 position, and everybody fighting really hard. Schweening gets an orange meatball flag. Not too sure if that's going to affect him. Marin gets a meatball flag. What's going on? Damage is off. The damage is off, actually, which is why the meatballs keep on disappearing. I'm not too sure why we have so many pit lane returns, though. But for the time being, we've got quite a lot of drivers who are... I don't know if they've retired the car or not. Rob Wright and Rick English have definitely retired the cars. Brandon Nagelvert and James L. Foster potentially have retired the car. Nick Hanley's also in the pit lane. So lots and lots of drivers right now who are currently not racing or currently out in the pit lane, and that's super unfortunate to see, because it just means less and less cars constantly fighting out on the grid. And the more the merrier, I suppose, at a circuit like this. But for our boy up in front, Salman Khan, he's got to keep on pushing here, because about 17 or so minutes left. This could be it for him.
Well, there's only 2 drivers on the lead lap. That is Sullivan Khan and Adrian Borowski. It's down to 38, 33. No, not 33. Down to 39, 38. Sitting that point at the moment. That's how it currently sits, as we are 12 minutes into this race. We've still got quite a bit of time left to go, though, so never say never, as Neil Hanley gets past Borgsrud as they go back to the pit lane. So does Ken Poulin. So that's what's happened. Borowski meatball, that is going to get removed as we continue here in this race, making it nice and tidy. It's a very repetitive circuit, I will say that, as Mark Schweening versus Martin Visser right now. Nice little fight between these two, as over the sausages and over the little bumps, down goes deep, does Mark Schweening, and this is watching Sean Gapinski as they go down the hill, the car moving all over the place, little 1 bump, 2 bump, and onto the inside, drifts it out, and we got very close there. It's all over the place. Hello, over another curb, and tries to drift it around. We were just watching some nice good old drifting right there on the replay. Thank you very much, Mr. Producer. We love to see that. As right now, Zenkar is chasing down Taylor. In fact, they've got it done, because Dan Taylor is in the barrier and is upside down. Let's get a replay, because that was a big impact. Thank God. I will say this. Thank God this is not real life.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if this was real life, I don't think this would be sanctioned by the FIA or like any other racing board. This is quite an interesting track and car combo as Daniel Taylor. A same situation that Louis Foster kept on getting himself stuck into, and straight into the white and blue barrier. Unfortunately, nothing you can do to recover that car, and off he goes into the pit lane. But I think it's a good time as well to mention the proud sponsors of the TGR Nation Grand V. First one obviously being Sambo iRacing. For all your track guides and needs for trying to get around a circuit like this. I'm not too sure if they'd have a track guide for a config like this. I'm not too sure if anybody would actually willingly race this in an official lobby. But for all your other track guides, go ahead to Sambo iRacing, as well as Lutsu Driver Performance for all your setup needs and training around a track. And I believe the two have actually partnered up from today going on to give you Sambo iRacing setups and track guides as a combination. So if you're needing all-in-one from one provider, look no further than the partnership between Sambo iRacing and Lutsu Driver Performance to get that track guide down, but also get the car setup down so that you feel 100% comfortable when tackling a difficult config such as this that we're racing on. So it's great to see the combined partnership coming in, especially at such a awkward event as today, as it's been quite a while since we've seen only 2 drivers on the lead lap, I must say.
well, we say on the lead lap, how long is it going to take for Sully Khan to overtake Adrian Borowski? Because we saw the lap times, the 56s at the moment that Sully Khan is saying on their best lap times. And there's Adrian Borowski on the left. He's just going on a start-finish straight. Sully Khan's coming around the final corner. So, Sully Khan has been waiting for a race win this entire season, in fact, over last season as well. Is it going to be? He is going to win a race, and he's going to do it in a matter of lapping everybody else on the field at a circuit that nobody would think you would win a race at. Who knows? We'll wait and see. We've still got just under 15 minutes left on the clock here at the circuit as you head through the right hander. Nice and tidy, nice and clean by Adrian Borowski. And there's Sully Khan in the yellow and blue little car. I would say it's a B, but it's not a B. It's kind of like a Renault, except the blue is darker.
Yeah, definitely so, and it's still a great thing to see all the different livery variations that we've seen out on track. Like you're mentioning, it looks a little bit like a B, and I mean, Sully Khan, he's got a nice mix with the blue and purple chasing down in front. I believe that's Mr. Schweening, I believe with the purple car. No, I think that's actually Zen car with the purple design. I'm not too sure what happened to his lightning strike. He used to have a nice lightning strike down the right-hand side of his car, and it looks like it's just completely dissipated. Clearly the weather's gotten better in Antarctica, that he doesn't need the lightning strikes anymore, but still running down in 6th position as he tries to chase down on Matthias Marin, who's quite a bit of a distance up ahead. But I think the biggest thing that we're going to be watching here for the next couple of minutes is, like Alexa mentioned, when is Khan going to lap Borowski? And weirdly enough, that is first place lapping 2nd place. So all could really be in it here for Solomon Khan. We're not going to talk about him too much though, because you know things do happen, and we don't want things to happen here because yeah, it's just not it's not the life that we hope for. But Daniel Taylor gets up ahead in front of Mark Schweening. And Daniel Taylor, great move into 8th position, now chasing into Visser as Jim is going crazy in my ear right now. I apologize, but we still got so much on the racing. It's such a funny track combo that we're looking at here today. It's a pretty difficult to keep a straight face with all the amount of action that we've seen so far. But the number 53 flying high. I mean, what noise does a paper plane make if we're not talking about Piper Cups or, oh my goodness, and Sully Khan
he almost went flipping.
Oh my goodness.
I think we've been talking too nice, Tristan. Oh, Matthias Marin's into the pit lane. Up there. Right, this is the replay. Tristan, take us through it.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about what plane noise he'd be making and completely missing the control into turn number 1. Same situation as Louis Foster, same as Daniel Taylor, just not getting the rotation on the car. But thankfully, there is no damage involved here. Otherwise, we'd probably have a grid of about 2 cars remaining. But super unfortunate there for Khan. But he actually hasn't lost out much to Borowski. It's still a 53-second gap. And slowly closing in, we'll get a view of where Borowski is. I believe he just went past the checkered flag. There he is over there. And oh, there.
Well, not anymore.
I think here comes the lap as we see a purple car jumping over. There we see the other yellow car jumping over. And Sully Khan has officially lapped the 2nd place runner. So now a complete lap ahead of any competition. Solomon Khan, I mean, I think it's safe to talk about him now. Do you think?
I mean, are we sure Sully Khan isn't secretly a rally car driver? Like,
he might be.
He's suddenly, like, just being realistic for a sec. On every other circuit we've been to, he's had an incident somewhere in the middle of the race. And yet he comes here, and yes, he did have that incident at turn number 1. But he's still driving. He's driving, I'm going to say it, he's driving like a madman on this dirt circuit. Are we sure this man is secretly not a rally car driver? I need an investigation into Sully Khan.
Yeah, I think we do need to investigate his profile a little bit, but my goodness, I didn't realize the gradient was that hectic. We were just on board with Solomon Khan from the top of the hill on the final corner, coming down towards the checkered flag. He's almost done it again. Thankfully, I managed to keep it out of the wall. But from the downhill, I mean, you can see it from here, the amount of distance in gradient variation from the last corner to the first is absolutely crazy. And to think that they're doing it in stiff suspension Formula Vs is the even crazier part. I mean, you'll see it now shortly as we keep on board with Solomon Khan as that's how fast these laps go. And oh, he's... I don't know what to say about it. That's not looking too good there for Solomon Khan. Has he been hit by someone?
Yep, and
he has been hit by someone.
No.
He's actually
no.
being towed. I mean, maybe we shouldn't have spoken about him. I mean,
he's stuck on there.
Oh my goodness. You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious.
Sully Khan is stuck. He's trying to get the rears going. He is trying to get the car out of the dirt. He's gonna get some help. Sully Khan is back on the road, and he's been given up by another driver. Professional, right? Real quick chat. Professionalism's out the window. I think we were expecting that with this circuit, but oh my god!
I don't think we were expecting that today.
Tristan's lapping over off in the distance, trying to get his breath back right now.
I mean, I just wouldn't have thought something like this would happen. We were thinking, okay, you know, he's perfectly fine. He's lapped second position. Nothing can go wrong. You know, even if he gets a bit of a spin or something, he can recover it. But for him to go and get stuck in the only ditch around Wild West Motorsport Park, and I mean, if that back marker did not decide to give the number 53 a bit of a bump, that would have been it again for Khan. He would have had to tow back to the pit lane. It would have been a continued delay to try and get back out, and Borgersrud would have been well off into the distance ahead. And I mean, my goodness, I would not have expected that. That is just luck for Sullivan Khan that he would get stuck into a situation like that. But I mean, like you say, the professionalism completely out of the window. There might be I don't think there's going to be a ruling against that considering the track, car, and combo. But back on the talking point I was saying, I mean, look at this downhill. And this is with the bumps in a Formula V. Coming down towards that checkered flag, and then the bump does what it always does. My goodness. And Sullivan Khan goes flying. Still thankfully 20 seconds ahead. I cannot keep a straight face with this. Every single corner. I mean, it's constant issues for the Formula Vs here.
Right, that's the same back marker. I want to know. I want to know who was that back marker who helped Sully Khan out, because I couldn't quite catch the number on the side of it, but
I mean,
me and Tristan, oh my god, he almost hit it. He almost went out the circuit. What is going on tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Sullivan Khan's luck is. If he went out of the circuit there, I think that would have been an automatic tow. I mean, this is absolutely wild. But it was actually Gopinski.
Props to him.
Was Gopinski the one who knocked him?
It was either him or it might have been somebody in a teal car.
Like
I don't know.
I'd
have to see the car. I'll have to see every single car to like remember it correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I saw a red Formula V car bumping into him. I'm not 100% sure. But, I mean, still, I literally cannot catch my breath with this. There is just so much going on for Sullivan Khan.
He did another one.
Where it happened. This
right,
is the replay of
this is
happened.
The replay. I need to catch the number. Because,
so
he gets caught and spun around. He would have been fine, but no, he gets caught and spun around, which sends him into the ditch. Okay, yeah, it is no, it's not that one. Is it that one? No. Next one?
Yeah, I mean, he was stuck for quite a while, so...
Yeah, I think it's this one.
Was it Gopinski? Yeah, it was Gopinski.
Yeah, it is. It was Gopinski who helped him out the ditch. Sully dodged... Sully dodged stuff there, according to chat. He really did. But we're down to 13 seconds now for Borgersrud. As he's sliding on the nose. He's giving the circuit a sniff.
He's got to watch out now because he doesn't have that safe bracket behind anymore of being a lap ahead of second position. I know he's hit the barrier again. I mean, look, he can keep the lap times up, the 56.1 as a best lap time. If he can get around there again, he's okay. But if he continuously goes and hits walls like he's been doing in the past 3 laps, it's going to be an easy catch-up for Borgersrud in second position. And there he goes and hits another one. And this is not looking too good for Sullivan Khan. It's down to 10 seconds now between himself and Borgersrud. This is probably his view right now. I mean, it's a pretty difficult view, if you have to ask me. I gotta say, you can't focus too much on the next corner as he tries to get past a couple of back markers. 8.5 seconds now to Borgersrud. This is getting very dangerous for Sullivan Khan.
You can't... I mean, to be fair, with this gradient, you can't even see the next corner. Right, I will say this. Should we watch Borgstrud for a bit? Because it seems like we watch Sullivan Khan, and we are just cursing him. So, should we watch somebody else for a bit so we don't keep on cursing this man?
I think so. I think we should go on board with Borgstrud just to see
Oh, this is Borgstrud's POV.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like everybody's dealing with this. I'm not too sure if that's actually what the driver's seeing, but if it is, that's quite a lot to process on your screen at one time. And I mean, I can slowly start to imagine why it's quite a pain to get around the circuit for the drivers. As I mean, that amount of mud, like our producer said, it looks like a continental map of the Bahama Islands out on their visor. It's quite a difficult thing to focus on. Thank goodness there's no like beachy details on each of those islands. That would be quite a hard thing to process. But Borgstrud is rapidly closing that gap. 5.9 seconds now to Khan.
Oh, well, are you sure about that? Almost into the same ditch Sully went into, but we got 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. So, this is really going to be an interesting one. There's Adi and Borowski, who's making their way through. Curly sat P number 3, but they are 30 seconds behind. They're having a nice little fun time in that banana car.
Yeah, definitely. So Borowski was leading this with Salomon Khan. If you only joined in now, you've been missing probably one of the most eventful, weird, complicated, and funniest races of the season so far. Yeah, I believe it's what round number is this? Round number 10, I believe, for the season 3. But yeah,
well,
I mean,
what week are we
double
at?
check for you.
What week are we at?
A little bit further behind, Daniel Taylor is still 6 positions up. So trying to catch up to Zen Khan now, trying to get that final top 5 spot. But for the time being, I think we got to go back on Borgstrud. 3.9 seconds now to Sully Khan. This is getting dangerously close for our leader of this race, who was leading with over a lapped distance to 2nd position. And unfortunately, after quite a horrific curse from, I'm not going to say either of us commentators, but definitely wasn't something you normally see. He lost that gap from being stuck in a bit of a gap, and now trying to chase down on the race lead. Can he do it? He's got a couple of back markers he's got to process. Alexander Borgstrud getting himself anchored into that next corner and still chasing down on Salomon Khan. You can see him just ahead now, and with about 2 minutes left to go, can Salomon Khan hold his one and only lead he's got so far for the season?
Well, we're going to find out. There's Sully Khan as he's rear end is squiggling out quite a bit there. Went onto the thing. Next week is penultimate, so this is the 3rd and final round of the season. Quite an interesting one. All I'm going to say, imagine if this was the season opener, Tristan. Like, oh my god. But no, we're at 2.5, and we are just coming around the final corner now, so we're going to be going on to penultimate for this one as they head through the left-hander now and down on towards the start-finish straight. It's not really a straight, is it? Because there's such difference in gradients. Honestly, I'm surprised. Do you know that Red Bull advert? You know what? It would actually kind of suit it here. You know that Red Bull advert where they were on a ski slope, Sully Khan goes airborne, he gives you wings, and on the inside, there is going to be the man. There is Alexander Borgstrud, who is going to get into P number 1.
I think I need to stop commentating. I've just completely ruined the man's race with a couple of curses, and Khan is out of this race. He pulls into the pit lane after not being able to get the car recovered, and Borgstrud up in 1st position now, and now he's got the advantage. 30 seconds gap to Borowski down in 2nd position, and with, like Alexa mentioned, this being the penultimate lap, he's got one more after this to do, and that is officially it for this round, the 2nd last round of the season. And my goodness, sorry, 3rd last round, I believe you said, but this is so much chaos for what we have seen. I mean, Khan was on for such a great win here, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out. I wonder if we can curse Borgstrud the same way we did Salomon Khan, just by, you know, watching him from an eagle's eye. Not too sure if we can, but on the final lap now for Borgstrud, can he pull the win home here at the Wild West Motorsport Park?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go back to what I was saying, which I definitely think this cursed Sully. I think on this circuit, it would be a lot better if... Do you know that Red Bull advert where they're on a ski slope and they've got the snow tyres on, like the wet tyres with chains?
Yeah.
Give these Formula Vs some of those tyres, and I think they will do pretty good. I mean, they've been flying enough to be in a Red Bull advert. But here we go then, towards the back end of the circuit, as you've got Brooks and Sully Khan. Sully Khan's back in the pit lane as well now, as Taylor is also going to get past. But we expected it to be Sully at the halfway point, but last lap it would end up not working due to a moment at turn number 1. But it's going to be this time round. Alexander Borgström to the line here tonight on the dirt. He spins across and he wins the race as he's going to reverse over the bump, giving a gearbox show. And now you've got the rest of the drivers coming through. You've got Borowski, who's still yet to come to the line. And I will say this, Borowski is the only other driver who did not get lapped in this.
Yeah, I mean, great props to the drivers who finished. I was laughing at Matthias Marin coming down the hill and trying to hold the car. And there goes another driver and another one who possibly just not able to hold it down the final hill. He loses it again. Who is that who keeps on losing the car? That's super unfortunate. I believe that, who is that? Mark Schwinning? No, who's that? Martin Visser, maybe? Yeah, I think it's Martin Visser. He just comes across the line, just not able to keep that V under control. And that is officially it. I mean, Sullivan Khan going from first, and I believe he's not going to finish anywhere in the top 10 because of him being currently set to out. Oh, that's a huge crash from Gopinski in the background. But this has not been a race of common expectancy whatsoever. I mean, constant action, constant unpredictable times. As this looks like Sullivan Khan maybe coming out of the pit lane. Does he lose it again? Not too sure, but very, very unfortunate for Sullivan Khan. This is, I believe this is the replay that ended it all. So, oh, you can see him landing a little bit sideways, but it was actually, again, a little bit of a dig in and just not getting the rotation on the car. Cannot slow it down, and completely flipped he goes. And oh, there's the excavation site. We're currently looking into the future of it for the time being. Maybe there's some gold and diamonds down there, but for Sullivan Khan, nothing but a disappointment, unfortunately, in today's race.
Yeah, well, speaking of Sully Khan, because we will get the full classification up in just a moment. But whilst we shall wait for that in just a moment, we shall wait for the full classification. It is going to be Alexander Borgström who wins tonight, followed by Adrian Borowski, then Sully Khan in P number 3. Zenka P number 4 with Scott Brooks P number 5, Daniel Taylor P6 and Matis Marin P number 7, Mark Schweening P8, Sean Gopinski P number 9, Neil Hanley in P number 10 with Martin Visser P11. They'll be the other drivers to actually finish the race, then sign the pit lane for majority would be Ken Poulin, Brandon Nagel, Gianni Lutsu, James Louis Foster, Rick English, Rob Wright and Rich Matthews. So both IRL drivers out of the race tonight. And we have an interview with the man who I totally didn't curse by saying it was like a Red Bull advert. Sully Khan, you are live on Apex Racing TV.
Finally, I'm here because I've got a podium.
Indeed you are.
Yeah.
Took you long enough.
I'm sorry I disappoint you every single week. Every single week I disappoint you guys, but at least yours is just once a week. Imagine what my family goes through on a daily basis, but there you go.
Well, right, we know what we want to talk about. That turn number 1, what happened right towards the end?
I got damage, and normally if you hit the barrier in the correct way, it repairs itself, but I was doing it fine for all the race, but just that final lap, and it sent me upside down, and yeah, I had no choice but I had to go back to the pits. So yeah, I could have won, but gutted. It is what it is, but it was a lot of fun. But
yeah, yeah. I mean, just talk us through.
I enjoy it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I enjoy this because I come from in real life drifting background, so I'm very comfortable going sideways. It's going straight that I have the most difficulty with. That's why I have the issues I have with the normal races. So, but yeah, I'm happy with that anyway. It was a lot of fun.
I was somewhat right with my rally prediction.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were.
Yes. Well, yeah, speaking of drifting, what about the bumps? Yeah. Because landing the car and everything, talk us through that as we also see your car going upside down again.
Just there, yeah. Yeah, you've just got to make sure that your wheel is straight as you hit the bump. So you're gonna land. It's probably still gonna cause damage, but it's where if you hit the bump at an angle, that's where it just all goes wrong, and you go off onto the side, and or you end up upside down like I am just there. So yeah, that's the main thing, and just having a throttle control, really, just making sure that you're constantly keeping in grip at all times. So yeah, that was my the issue I have. I'll be honest with you, is Gianni's coaching, which has got me quite quick. But unfortunately, my racecraft does not match my speed at the moment. So hopefully, over the next few races or next season or two, I'll hopefully improve, and hopefully I should be here more often, speaking to you guys at the end of each race. But let's see what happens.
Indeed, and of course, you said it earlier, but I've got two more questions for you. You know what the final one's going to be, but this one. How does it feel to finally be on the podium?
I can't tell you. I can't wait to tell my family. And I said you say I'm a disappointment, but there you go. Look, I'm on the podium. What more could you ask for?
Oh,
Yeah,
fair enough.
just tell them to not come backwards and watch
To
the
be fair,
replay.
I just want to add as well. I was inside the top 10 in the official championship on iRacing as well. So really proud of that as well. So I was finished ninth this season. So season just gone, yeah. So I'm proud of that as well. So I'm getting better. We'll get there eventually. So as long as we're moving forward, that's the main thing.
I'm trying to figure out the accent now because I know it's United Kingdom and I'm also British.
It's Northern England, and on the right side of Pennines, Sambo iRacing. So
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I'm on the west side. I'm on the west. Oh, hold on. Is it Yorkshire?
It is indeed.
Oh,
It is indeed.
Lancashire.
Like I said, you're famous Sambo.
Lancashire.
Oh no, I'm surrounded by him. What's going on?
Hey,
But yeah.
hey, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm more. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Family wise, I'm more Scouse than Lancs. So either way, there you go. Then again, Yorkshire. I don't know what's worse. Anyways, before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to give a thanks
to? First of all, just want to thank all the participants in the TGR Grand Prix, all the drivers, because without them there would be no league. Thank you everyone for sponsoring, all the people that have. Again, Gianni and Sambo as well, great sponsors who sponsor the series. Thank you very much. And like I said, again, thanks to Todd and Matthias for all the help. We try our best to put on some good races and fun races, and I think this was quite popular, so we may see this again next season. I don't know, but you never know.
Well, I don't know with the amount of retirements. Congratulations to the podium. We shall let you go, Sully.
Thank you.
And Tristan, that was Sully Khan. I will let you add this, man. Yep, Alexander Borgstrud, you are live on Apex Racing TV.
Hello.
Welcome in. I mean, talk us through that. It was looking to be a podium spot, and just on the final lap, it changes to something else. I mean, what was going through your head there, claiming the win on the final lap?
Yeah, I mean, that was when a lot was going through my head. It was like I was having so much fun trying to catch him down after I had to pit, or after I flipped over the wall. So, and I saw him like getting closer and closer. I just tried to want to push and see if I could do it, which was really fun. Probably one of the most fun races I've ever had on iRacing.
Yeah, from our perspective, it looked like one of the funnest races as well. But I mean, in terms of what the car was doing, because it seemed like a lot of people were struggling with it, but specifically into turn one, when the car just decides not to turn, I mean, what are you feeling in the car? What's happening with the car that it's not wanting to rotate left?
I think a lot of the time when people go straight there is because when you land from the jump, sometimes the car gets damaged, and it takes a few seconds to fix itself. So sometimes you just go straight there.
I see. Okay, yeah. So that's probably what happened to a couple of our run-ups. But otherwise, How did the Formula V feel around such a odd track style, especially over a couple of the bumps? I mean, what was that suspension feeling like?
Yeah, suspension is not made for this at all. The one thing that was actually like the Wii was completely fine to drive in the corners. The hardest part was the straights, especially the back straight without any jumps. It was so hard to keep it straight there for some reason. I don't know why.
It's actually very, very interesting to see. But next week, the 20th of December, we head to the Lime Rock chicane. So we're back to some asphalt driving. I think the Vs are a bit more accustomed to that. How are you feeling for that?
Feeling good. Been doing a lot of V practice this last season, so let's see. It's gonna still be carnage there, but a different kind. Gonna be a lot of tight racing. Like the opposite of this.
So.
It's gonna be difficult because everyone's going in the train.
Yeah, 100% so. But I mean, before you head out, is there anything you'd like to mention or anybody you'd like to thank?
I mean, I'd like to thank you guys for like making the broadcast of this. It's really cool to be able to watch it after, and you guys are really good commentators, so it's really fun to watch.
Appreciate it so much. But I hope you have a great night further, and congratulations on this win at such an unpredictable track layout.
Thank you.
So that was Mr. Alexander Borgersrud, the winner of tonight's racing. And I mean, what a great event it has been. I mean, some insane camera angles as well tonight. I just gotta push it out there for Jim as he's asking for it. But I mean, it's just been a good night overall, I think, Alexa. It's been some of the funniest, coolest, and most unpredictable racing we've seen in the series so far.
Indeed it has. I had to mute there because my keyboard was loud. But yes, indeed it has, and we are out of time. Alexander Borgström, P number 1 tonight. Sully Khan's first ever podium. We may not be here for the finale, but we're going to be here for the penultimate round. It comes to your way next week. We go to, as we get the calendar up, and we look for the rest of everything else as we go towards the end of the season, as of course the cameras have been amazing. We go to the Lime Rock Chicanes next week with Laguna Seca finale. We don't know if we will be here for the finale personally, but we know we'll be here for the penultimate round. It is Lime Rock Chicanes next week. We've done so many rounds. We go to round number 11. That's going to be an interesting one on the 20th of December, 5 days before Christmas. But from myself and my Mr. Tristan Herbst, we apologise for the lack of professionalism tonight, but either way, it was a very fun and entertaining race. Our producer in the background has been Jim Cunningham, bringing you all the amazing camera shots you've seen tonight, and like this one you're watching right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back, same place, same time, next week. Good night.